NJPAC Arts Education presents On the Mic, an audio resource that takes school time performances to the next level. I'm your host, Danya Ramos. In this episode, we are exploring our imaginations with the play The Adventures of Harold and the Purple Crayon.
Once upon a time, there was a little boy named Harold.
The Adventures of Harold and the Purple Crayon is a play based on the delightful books written by an author named Crockett Johnson. The story follows an inventive young boy named Harold, who creates the world he wants to explore using nothing more than a big purple crayon and his imagination. In the stage play, Harold jets to Mars, joins a circus, and has other thrilling adventures. Have you ever wondered, who are the people who work together to put on a show like The Adventures of Harold and the Purple Crayon? Well, we've got a special guest who can give you some answers. Zachary Chiro is a performer with the Enchantment Theater Company, where The Adventures of Harold and the Purple Crayon was created. Simone Kelly from NJPAC talked with Zachary to learn all about how a play like The Adventures of Harold and the Purple Crayon gets made. Let's listen.
Harold and the Purple Crayon. Can you tell us a little bit about it?
Sure. It's a series of books that was written, I believe, around the 50s. It had a cartoon, a TV show that was created. But it's essentially about a little boy named Harold, and he begins to draw, and these drawings come to life. He gets himself into all sorts of interesting situations and messes, and using the imagination that kind of got him into the messes, he uses that to get himself home, back to his bedroom.
What's the most exciting part about this production for you?
Just getting to see a new generation of audiences get to see it, get to have the fun that I had when I first created this. It was such a joy to put together, and it was such a fun adventure taking it across the country, just getting to experience other audiences' reactions to it. I'm so excited for that to happen again. I took it to NJPAC actually when we first took it out. So it's like amazing that it's coming back there.
You said Harold and the Purple Crayon. It's about him taking this crayon and creating his own reality, his own world. Would you say that that's the main message of Harold and the Purple Crayon?
Enchantment loves creating shows that are based on the power of transformation within yourself, the power of imagination to transform you, to help you grow, and thus helping you transform the people and the places around you. Harold kind of starts out as a self-centered character. He is focused on himself. He's focused on his own things.
The sandy beach reminded Harold of picnics, and the thought of picnics made him hungry. So he laid out a nice picnic lunch with nothing but pie, the 9 kinds of pie that Harold liked best.
We have projection in this show, so everything that Harold draws is animated and it appears behind him. And then those characters come to life on stage. And there's another character called the little girl who often makes an appearance, and they cross paths several times. She often seems to have a better handle on the magic of the crayon than he does. But through their repeated interactions, he understands that opening up to her makes his world better. And they kind of get to finish the show by exploring this world together, which is just really lovely.
Harold decided he would go on a quest to find an enchanted garden.
What's the hardest part?
It's tiring, it's physically draining because our body is our tool. Our bodies are telling the story at any given moment on stage. You don't want to see somebody hanging back. If a kid stops looking at Harold and they look at somebody holding a puppet, that person is fully engaged. There's no break for us. The schedule can be really demanding, but it's also provided some of the most amazing experiences I've ever had.
Our actors are backstage with their costumes, masks, and puppets ready to perform the story for you.
Who wrote the scripts?
Jennifer took the 5 books and kind of laid out how they would all connect to each other. There's not much speaking between the characters. Harold performs what he does. There's actually a 15-minute section where there's no words at all. It's one of the moments where the kids are most engaged because the storytelling is just happening in front of them. Our brilliant composer, Charlie Gilbert, will create music to our action. We retool, we add music, we add sound effects.
There are 5 books that you turned into a production for Enchantment Theater. You guys have a different production for each?
They're actually, all 5 of them have been included in one show. Harold starts in his bedroom and he has an adventure, and then he circles back to his bedroom, and then a new adventure comes out of the next idea that he has. Harold goes to the moon. Harold goes to the circus. Harold has his own fairy tale adventure.
Harold decided to write a story. It began with Once Upon a Time.
What was really fun was bringing little elements from previous episodes back into later parts of the show. So kids remember that moment that they had earlier with Harold, and it makes for a really interesting and fun adventure.
A lot of times people don't build a connection between the arts and children.
The ability to communicate, the ability to express yourself, the ability to see differences in people and still recognize each other's shared humanity.
Harold had found a friend.
I feel like that is more essential now than it ever has been. And we hope that our work can continue to cultivate a generation of kids who want to express themselves in that way. We're very passionate about it, and it's something that we're really excited to continue.
That was Simone Kelly talking with performer Zachary Chiro. Now it's your turn to share your thoughts. Here are a few questions. Teachers, please be sure to pause the audio following each section so there's enough time for students to share their answers. 1. Zachary talks about how the character Harold uses drawings to imagine experiences that are out of this world. What can you do to imagine things or places you could never see in real life? 2. Zachary explains how the play The Adventures of Harold and the Purple Crayon is based on a series of books. How is seeing a play different from reading a book? 3. Zachary shares how the stories in The Adventures of Harold and the Purple Crayon are told without much talking. What are some ways you can express yourself without speaking? It's time to let a few words take center stage. Today's center stage words are adaptation, adventure, imagination, magic, and portrait. We'll explore each of the words one at a time. Adaptation, the process of changing an artistic work to be presented in a new way. Adventure, an exciting or unusual experience that can sometimes be risky. Imagination, the act of forming mental images of something that is not present or real. Magic, the act of performing a trick that appears to make something impossible happen. Portrait, a drawing of a person. And those are today's center stage words. Thank you for listening to On the Mic with The Adventures of Harold and the Purple Crayon. Simone Kelly interviewed original performer Zachary Chiro. The episode included clips from a performance recorded in 2014, with music and narration by Charles Gilbert, and adaptation by Leslie Rydell, and Landis and Jennifer Smith. The play is based on a book series by Crockett Johnson. This episode was written and narrated by me, Danya Ramos. Additional content was written by Simone Kelly and the team behind Enchantment Theater Company's production of The Adventures of Harold and the Purple Crayon. Sound editing, design, theme, and outro music were by Michael Aquino. The NJPAC Arts Education Audio Advisory Team includes Randall Crody, Ashley Mandaglio, and Danielle Borders. Be sure to check out The Adventures of Harold and the Purple Crayon resource guide at njpac.org. And for more information about The Adventures of Harold and the Purple Crayon, visit enchantmenttheater.org. Both links can be found in the show notes. On the Mic is an NJPAC Arts Education production. It is produced in partnership with CM Studios. The interview was recorded by NJPAC on Zoom. Additional recording took place at CM Studios in Essex County, New Jersey, which is situated on the traditional territory of the Lenni Lenape people. Thanks for listening to On the Mic with The Adventures of Harold and the Purple Crayon. Play the part of a lifetime. You, at NJPAC, the world is your stage, and you have an important role to play. So jump in, try something new, find your voice and share your story. Sing, dance, act, and play an instrument. Have fun with hip-hop, poetry, and jazz. Discover a welcoming community you can call your own. Be curious, be creative, be unstoppable. Be you. Visit njpac.org/education to get more information about spring Saturday classes and summer offerings.